I guess, you know, I will hop in a little bit and talk about Kenny because, you know, he has some new things happening for him right now. This week he's been getting more reps with the twos. Instead of it being Mason getting those reps, it's been flipped. And it's been more of Kenny. Also, for the first time since Kenny has been a part of the Pittsburgh Steelers, he also got reps with the first team offense.
Is that the 2-minute drill?
2-minute drill, absolutely, man. And there's a lot of significance with that. I know people will say, well, it's just practice. But when you're talking about the 2-minute drill, that is one of the most important parts of a game. When you talk about situational football, it's the end of a half. It's the end of a quarter, or excuse me, the end of a fourth quarter, typically when you're running these 2-minute drills. And you know the stakes are high. You have to either score a touchdown, kick a field goal. Defensively, you're trying to get a turnover. You're trying to get a stop. So you put your best players out there. You want your best guys getting those reps. And when you talk about the other players that were out there with them, offensively and defensively, yeah, you see the type of names that are there. You see the Minka Fitzpatricks. You see, you know, when we put out our A unit on defense, it's like, all right, you're not just throwing him out there for no reason. You don't just put him out there to get a free look. It's like you're trying to evaluate. You're trying to see, can he handle this? Because we know in the 2-minute drill, it's not just about, you know, his talent. It's also about his smarts, because now you're calling it at the line of scrimmage. You don't have that luxury of always being able to turn to the sideline and say, hey, coach, man, what we running? It's not, you know, that type of dynamic. So for Kenny to see if he could handle that, I like this type of exposure, but I also like the fact that Coach Tomlin is doing this in a manner that, as a former NFL player, a veteran, it's in a way that you would respect Kenny. Because when he was first drafted, you think about media members, you think about fans, all of them saying day one, put him out there as a starting quarterback. Give him every QB1 rep, whether he deserved it or not, good or bad, put him out there.
Sounded like me.
It's a possibility that I might have been referring to you. Yes, it's a possibility there. But the problem is this, man. If you do that and this guy is not clear-cut that guy day one, you potentially lose your team. You lose your veterans, because we look at young players and say, what have you done? You haven't proven anything. You're given something right now. And we look at that as privilege. And a lot of us as athletes don't really respect that. And when you talk about the handling of Kenny Pickett, it's like, man, the reason why you can respect it and the guys are all behind it, and even me talking about it right now, it's a different type of atmosphere, because we've seen him along this progression. We've seen him continuing to get better. The more they put on his plate, he shows, okay, he's able to handle that. Now you graduate to the next stage. But all through that, amongst your team, amongst your veterans, you're gaining respect. You're showing that, okay, we can trust you with a little bit. If I can trust you with a little, then I can trust you with a lot. But I'm not going to just go out here and give you the keys to the car, and I haven't even seen if you could pass the permit test, if you even know what a stop sign is, if you know how to yield, if you know what a red light is, and all these other things. But this is that process for Kenny where we're getting a chance to see him. Okay, first it was OTAs. What does it look like just being out there with NFL players? Then it was minicamp. All right, now it really is everybody here, and we know this is supposed to be mock season. Training camp, first 2 weeks. Remember, we said that first week it wasn't pretty special. Then it was like, okay, he's starting to pick it up. So far, so good. Every time he has any type of adversity, anytime he's given some type of test, he's been passing it. You talk about that performance Saturday. It's nothing that Mason or Mitch did wrong. But when you talk about Kenny's trajectory along with all of the momentum that he has being the 20th overall selection and things like that, it's like, yeah, you knew if he could do that, it's going to open up more doors for him. And now this week, it'll be interesting to see, not just throughout the practices, but come game time on Saturday, how does he perform? When he gets to go out there with the earlier unit, when the competition is a little bit greater, how does he handle that scenario? Does he still look as comfortable? Is he still able to be that type of playmaker? And then from there, if he is, well, hey, don't be surprised if that third game, he's getting that QB1 opportunity. Because that's the trajectory. But it's because
that one's at home too.
But and also it's because of his timeline, though. It's because of what he's been able to accomplish thus far. But he's earning it. As long as he's earning it like that, man, everybody will be able to support that. The guys will be able to rally around it. The coach staff can rally around it, and you feel good, even if he has bad games, even if he has bad moments, because you've seen him go through that fire. If you just give it to him, you don't get that luxury of, oh, he's just having a bad game, benefit of the doubt. Because you're like, nah, we didn't. Why should we believe that he is capable of it? We haven't seen that. You just gave this to him. So in that capacity, man, I do love what the Steelers are doing right now, in particular Mike Tomlin. in his handling of Kenny and ultimately giving him the opportunities. And he did play well in the 2-minute drill. He didn't score. He had a nice little shot to George Pickens, 27-yarder, but did not get a chance to actually score the touchdown. Him and Mason, both of their drives stalled right in the red zone and stuff like that. But for me, man, like I said, it was just good for Kenny to get that opportunity. And let's see where he continues to go with this day, man.
Claypool and Deontay have been out there, too.
Yes, man. We've had, in terms of the offense, everybody has been back out there except Derek Watt. Benny Snell was back out there. Kevin Dotson's back. Let's see.
Najee.
Yeah, and obviously, Najee. But Najee had came back. He was back practicing prior to the preseason game, the opener. They just weren't going to put him out there. But, yeah, now he's back out there as well, man. I'm trying to think defensively. Yeah, the dudes are back out there also. Minka's been back out there. Minka, him and George Pickens were having some nice battles yesterday and day before yesterday as well, man. So we definitely like that part, man, because once again, with George, it's getting a chance to see him with better competition. What does it look like? The consistency element. Also, your boy Keller making some nice plays out there against George. So shout out to those guys,
Not
man,
surprised.
stepping it up as
Iron
well,
sharpens
man.
iron.
Absolutely, man.
So I was trying to say with them, too.
Yeah.
With Pickett, though, you actually think there's a legit chance QB1, week 3. Now, even this preseason game coming up against Jacksonville, likelihood of him being at least QB2.
To me, I think he gets in QB2 reps. I don't know if they do it as blatant as soon as Mitch comes out, they put Kenny out there, or if it's a Mason, you get that first series, Kenny, you're going.
Back
you know
and
what I mean?
forth.
Yeah, because we've seen other teams handle it like that. I believe Carolina is doing it like that between Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. It's a couple of other places where I've seen them rotating them. Seattle, they were the other ones who were doing that with Geno and Drew. At times, they try to do that with them as well. So with that, for Kenny, I just think for him, man, the chances of him being a starter in that first 2 to 3 weeks, I think greatly increases if he puts together another performance like he did Saturday. Because for him, the momentum, you feel it. And the gradual improvement you feel. He also has just that, we call it the it factor. And it's still not proven just yet, but the buzz around him. That's the other part. And now we know a lot of that is because of him being here, him playing at Pitt, him coming right to the Steelers. A lot of that was going to already just carry over. But the more he shows in stadium that he's capable of replicating and duplicating the stuff that we saw in Pitt, the stuff that we've seen at times in practice, well, it's going to be harder for that coaching staff to say, well, why not give him the chance? Because remember, at the beginning of when we drafted Kenny, we said if it's close between him and Mitch, you're going to go with the younger guy. If it's close between Kenny and Mitch, or Kenny and Mason, you go with the younger guy. So this is one of those scenarios where if it becomes close like that, because prior to Saturday, it wasn't close. And even now, I'm not saying that it's officially close, but Kenny has definitely closed the gap on Mason. And that's why if you're Mason, you're like, you have to do something extraordinary Saturday and next Saturday. Not that you played bad, but we already said you had to go above and beyond. Whereas when you're talking about Mitch is still in the driver's seat, but he's going to get a bigger opportunity this upcoming game. Them 2 series that he had were cool, but it was only 2 series. Kenny played 5. We see how we felt about that. So for Mitch, he's going to have to show now that he's going to get an extended chance to prove it. Is he worth that? And that's the part that's going to be interesting to me, man. We know during this time of year, sometimes you got to trim the bush a little bit. Sometimes you got to be careful with the short and curlies. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about my friends at Manscaped. Because you know they are the leaders in below the waistline grooming. Deke, you're aware of that, right?
Yeah.
You know they keep the grass low so the tree can show a little bit more. We with you on all that. And that's what we appreciate them. But that Lawnmower 4.0 in particular is the one that always stands out to me. You know, that one with the light on it. Turns on and off. Because some of these got lights that they don't turn on and off. That's not acceptable. You got to have options. Daytime, nighttime, primetime game. You know what I'm saying? Daytime game. But that's what the Lawnmower 4.0 brings to the table, along with a plethora of other healthcare options. Man, you're talking the shampoo, the body wash. Did you want to talk about the body wash? You want to talk about that?
Yeah. I've been using it ever since Manscaped sent over the care package. The body wash, the shampoo. Got me smelling good, feeling fresh.
I personally, you coming here daily, I'm like, yo, Deke, you smell really nice, bro.
Thanks.
I wanted to hug you the other day. I just didn't want to make it awkward. But that's what you bring to the table, man. That's what Manscaped brings to the table,
the body spray, too.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So, with that being said, we also know that when we talk about anybody up here, we got to have something for you. And that's a promo code. It's MOATS. Use that, you'll get your 20% off of your purchase at manscaped.com along with free shipping worldwide. So, Deke, to me, this sounds like a no-brainer. It sounds like one of those things like, don't waste your time.
A win-win.
Yeah. They're doing for you. You're going to do for you, and you're also going to do for others. But either way, man, definitely use that promo code, and your dangly twins will appreciate you.